get this so that you guys can see me better, I think. Alright. Hey, there we go. Anyway. I know it's been a while. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at making these. If I'm telling the truth. I'm trying, though. It's just this is a high anxiety thing. It really does. It sets my anxiety off just to try and record these. Because what if I look awful, or what if I can't get the stupid thing to set right like it is right now? It becomes a nightmare. I'm sure some of you do understand. And there it goes. There we go. But I'm going to read 3 out of Pocket Full of Poetry. And I'm going to try and do this again next month. I don't promise anything. Excuse me. And hopefully we will see more patrons come in. I do have some art prompts that I will be doing. I am going to try and do the daily thing from here on out. There probably will be a hiccup for Memorial Day weekend, as well, I've got my boyfriend home for 2 days, and to be honest, we're cooking and stocking up. He's doing canned chicken and some chicken ramen broth, and I'm probably going to be sitting here doing dishes the rest of the week, because that's just the way things go. But and we've been doing a lot of running of errands and stuff, and I've got more to do than I really have time for. But that's how it goes, you know. And no, this isn't my way of complaining. Oh God, I just realized that. I've got a trip the first week in June, so that's probably going to cause a little bit of a issue with posting, because I don't know. I'm driving about 300 miles away, and I don't know how that's going to go as far as being able to post. Yes, we do have a motel room. Yes, I will have Wi-Fi. That all, yeah. But to be able to post, I need time. I need to be able to sit down, and to be honest, I don't know with this trip what that's going to entail. I get to see my grandson for the first time, so that's going to be a nice thing. I'm going to get to see my brother for his birthday, which is coming up in like 2 days, I think. Let's see. 3 days. And I get to see the woman who was my babysitter when I was a kid, and her children, which are all family to me. So that means that I'm going to be way busy and probably way emotional, and there's going to be a lot of uncertainty in my life in the next week or two. What that's going to mean for me is sitting down to write or draw, even though I'm going to be taking my art supplies with me, might be problematic. I hope not. But, you know, it's harder when you're out and about to do what you need to do when it comes to creation, because you're going to be, everything's up in the air, and you know, that's how things go. I am looking forward to the trip. My daughter and I are turning it into a girls' weekend. We'll leave out Monday and we'll go down and see my brother, and then we'll go up and see my son and my grandbaby, and then we'll go to the motel, and the next day we'll go see my babysitter and her kids, and the next day after that probably go see my dad, and then probably come home. It's supposed to be a 3.5 day trip. Coming home is going to be a lot faster because from where they are in Virginia, where we're going to be, it's only a couple of hours, whereas going down to see my brother and then going up, it's going to add probably about 3 to 4 hours onto my trip. But it's so worth it. And then, of course, I've got approval to be in the summer edition of Creative Rising ezine. I've got a couple of submissions in to other ezines, and so far I've only heard back from one, and I submitted to 3 different ones, so I'll let you guys know on that. I got the rejection from the one, and one of my friends was here when that happened. He's been my friend for 20 some years. He was my boyfriend's best friend from childhood, and I kind of inherited him. I love friends like that. They're just so fun. Anyway, so I was like telling my boyfriend and him that I got a rejection, and kind of sucks, but you know, they said that my poem wasn't for them. And my friend told me, well, perhaps that's because they weren't worthy of your poetry. And I just kind of felt good about that. That was really nice. So, on to the poems. Blindness. The darkness overwhelms, pushing fear into the deepest and loneliest recesses of the already bruised heart. Tears obscure the truth, making illusions speak with the voice of hope. Loudly, as though the quiet were tangible, the whispers would not be heard for the beating heart. Truth lay bare, exposed by the harsh light of day ignored. Sight is often by will alone. Weak-willed wishing for the illusional reality to please a broken heart, a broken soul. If I could talk today, oh wow. Next one is Caught in Song. There's a song for every heart that has... Ooh, if I could talk. There's a song for each heart that has ever touched themselves to mine, playing in the theater of my often troubled mind. Joy nor sadness truly reigns, as heart-rending is often queen. Faces with songs exist long after emotion and name have fallen prey to time. Such power these sounds have to long after romance has died still bring the heart to tears. What allows another to see the moment before it has come to be, so well to write the words and notes that will eternally haunt the mind, remembering joy and pain in the moment? Is the muse so cruel that songs that tug the heartstrings are but inspiration and quick pen? The moment caught and held, meant to entertain the masses, end up breaking the heart. The sparkle in your eyes speaks volume to the soul inside of me. You and I speak so often that I feel you and I speak so often, and I feel so at home when I am with you, that often I forget. You only notice me in my dreams. I am invisible to the world. You sparkle. You shine. It is so easy to talk to you. Only in my mind. In my mind, I'm strong. I'm sure. In my mind, the words come, the words flow. In my mind, I cannot fail, I cannot stumble. I know I should try to talk to you, try to be with you. I know I should be more sure, be more forward. Yet I feel the chance that if I speak, the image I have will shatter, and you will break. The first poem book, there was probably about 100 iterations of it. We tend to see ourselves and not be able to see how we could be like everybody else. What that means is that, well, I didn't think that I could be published. I thought it was something that you had to go the traditional route. You had to get somebody who loved what you did enough to make it into a book. Oh boy, did I really imagine I didn't have that. It's not who I was. And to be honest, I was afraid that if I did find it, they would want to change everything. Because why would they like what was sad and depressing? That's what I thought my poetry was. Because that's what I had been told by people who didn't like poetry. It's sad, it's depressing. Somebody who actually likes poetry read my stuff at one point, and she says, yeah, it's sad, it's depressing, but that's what poetry is. It's emotion dripped on the page. That was way eye-opening. But when Amazon really started to catch my attention with the, hey, you can be a publisher yourself, independent. You don't need this massive amount of people telling you your words mean nothing. Well, by that point, I had lost more poems than I had written. Or at least that's how I saw it. I've written poetry that I had notebooks and notebooks of it. Every time I've moved in life, I've lost more. And I've moved a lot. Some people think I'm kind of gypsy soul because that's all I do is I end up staying in place for a few months and then I move again. I'm stabilized now, and I've tried to be for my daughter, but we've moved with her a couple of times. Not near as often as I moved as a child. But, we've tried to cut down because I don't like the idea that my daughter would suffer some of what I did. So, but when I found out that Amazon allowed independent publishing, that was both miraculous and scary. And it took months after I found out for me to actually get everything in line to put the publication together. I had this image of what I wanted the cover to be. I wanted how I wanted the book laid out, what poems I wanted to be in what pages. I didn't have a theme because I don't do themes. It just, life doesn't have a theme. And that's what my poetry is, it's life. So I put it together and I published it. And yes, I had it in the back of my mind, well, I guess that means that I'm another one of these that I published it because nobody else would. Yeah, my inner voice is mean. So I published it because I could. And I did a realization just after I published the newest one. Dream Drips is live, and the links are all over the place. I shared a link post on here, I believe. But when I published the last one, when I published Dream Drips, as Serena, I've got a novel and a novella out. As Patricia, which is my full name, and I've got a total of 19 books. 3 of them are children's, and I'm quite proud of those. And I do plan on doing more. But the rest of them are volumes of poetry. Mind you, I did my research. Poetry comes in various sized volumes. I've seen a poetry book that only had 12 poems, and it was wonderful. But I wanted something that would be big enough to take seriously. Well, I've been reading the poems in order and trying to stick to 2 to 3 each time. And I'm up to 9 read to you guys out of Pocket Full Poetry. There's 70 in every single one of my poetry volumes. So 19 poetry volumes times 70. Yeah. Apparently I like to write poetry. But it's got me to where I'm seriously thinking about, well, I don't think most people even know I exist. Because I'm terrible at marketing. I'm good at writing. That's where I excel. It's one of the few things I don't have a doubt about. I'm actually decent at writing. I might not always think that the story I wrote is good, but the writing itself, I don't usually need a huge amount of editing, because my writing itself, I'm decent with grammar, I'm decent with spelling. Usually when I need edits, it's because I've forgotten to put a comma in, or I've not got the wording just right, and the editor can go in and adjust it to make it sound better. Not, change the heart of the writing, but change how it sounds. And my editors have never complained, because that's not something that happens very often. And no, I'm not sitting here trying to do a brag fest either. I'm trying to make a point, and I'm not sure I'm making it right, but indie. And that's what I am. I'm an indie publisher. Indie doesn't necessarily mean not professional. I am a professional poet. I am a professional writer. I'm working on being a professional artist. I'm still learning, but I'm trying. It's not something that most people look at and go, well, this is going to make you money. No. I think the best I've gotten out of all my books was a $10 check at one point, and I've only seen one of those once. But it's also about living a life that you feel good about. I feel good about my writing most of the time. I feel good about my art, or I feel better about it than I did 5 years ago. But some days it's harder. So, for you, if you found something that you feel good about, do it. Don't listen to the inner voice. Don't listen to the outer voices. Do it. And you know what? The world will keep turning. So, thank all of you for your patronage. Thank you for listening to this 20-some minute ramble. And hopefully I will see you again soon. Bye.